got to work on your hardware. Your hardware is you telling yourself some better stories. You're the most amazing creation on the planet. You are ready to regain your mental profits. We're fighting this war for our brain. We're fighting this war for our brain. Start with this. Start with saying, I'm enough. You just rewired your brain. In this moment, I choose joy. You just rewired your brain.
Just rewired your
I am
brain.
filled with gratitude. You just rewired your brain.
All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing amazing.
Today the day you've had enough. Today the day you say, I am more than my own story. I am my own creation. I choose more. I choose great.
And there we go. All right. Hey, good morning. Welcome to this morning show. My name is Sean Murphy. I'll be your co-pilot today. And we're going to have a little conversation today about you doing more of what you want and less of what you don't. And go to my notes here. The conversation today is going to be a little bit about you understanding the power of your thoughts, the power of your self-talk, the power of your brain talk, the power of your signal. And in doing so, what you'll get is this idea of authority, authenticity. So if you were to say to someone, if you were to look in the mirror and say, the most expensive lie I ever sold myself is what? What's the most expensive lie you've ever sold yourself on? Right? What would that be? And if that's the lie, now, who did you borrow that lie from? Because you were sold on it means you had to buy it, means somebody else sold it to you. Who sold you that lie? Who did you borrow that lie from? This is the training you wish you skipped. That's what this conversation is. This is about the training you wish you skipped. Why? Because you're going to have an awareness and awakening and understanding that most won't ever have about it. Now, the challenge is you got to promise to use this for good for you, good for others. You don't overcome objections here in this conversation, in this space that you're in. We autopsy them. In order for an objection to appear, it had to be triggered, didn't it? Didn't it have to be triggered? So what I want to help you with, what I want you to understand is that why the best presentations create resistance. Think about that. The best presentations create resistance. That was the biggest presentation that I ever had, meeting Michelle for the first time. And there was some resistance. Not that we didn't get along, not that we didn't fall in love, but big presentations, best presentations create the biggest resistance. So just think about that as you go through. And what if instead of triggering, I don't have any money, you could trigger in somebody, here, take my money. Let's get started. I'm ready to go. Have you ever thought about what it takes to create a presentation that says that does that? Has anybody ever taught you? Listen, what do they teach you? They teach you how to overcome objections because their presentation triggers protections that they never teach you about. What if you could turn their objections into profit levers and the end result is, hey, here, take my money. And the reason that clients thank you through gritted teeth. You're going to learn these things. Why is it that sometimes clients will grit their teeth and go, thank you? You know what I'm talking about, right? Objections, listen, objections aren't things. Listen carefully. You may want to write this down. Objections are not things. They're embodied memories. It's neuroencoding. An objection is a neuroencoding response to something you triggered. Does that make sense? When someone says, I need to think about it, they just flinched a little. That's where shame lives. It triggered a little something in their liver. Your shame lives in your liver. It's an energy source. It's a frequency. So, you've been negotiating with ghosts. You realize that. It's time to evict them. When you negotiate, when you have conversations with objections, those are ghosts that live in their body. They're old frequencies, they're old understandings, they're old timings. Does that make sense? So, question. Future you already bought this. Future you already bought this. Present you is the obstruction. We're going to weaponize that disconnect. Future you has already bought into this. The one part of you that's sitting here going, man, this is okay. This makes sense. I understand this. My goal is to have more of what I want, less of what I don't. Now, the old story says the old story is going to show up when it's not being shoved into a corner, and it's going to come back fighting, right? My daddy always said, never corner a coward. And your old story is a coward that will find 1,001 ways to stay present. Because it's the identity. It's your identity. If I change, if I soften my voice, if I get a little quieter, if I get a little bolder, if I ask more questions, if I stop being so aggressive, who am I? Who am I when I shift all of this? Does that make sense? So here's an exercise. Record yourself saying your name. You know it's time. Sean, it's time, right? You say your name. So do a little recording saying, Sean, it's time. You would say your name, right? It's time. Play it back when you're resisting. Play it back when success is resisting. Play it back when old story is jumping in. Sean, it's time. Just simply like that. Your pupils dilate before logic engages. See, when you understand human nature can't lie. And when you can begin to pick up on all of the, now you're already, let me make this very clear. You are already picking up on every single micro expression that's happening in your client. Every single micro expression that's happening in your prospect. The challenge, the big challenge, is you're not paying attention to them. You're used to them. You expect them. Right? So as you begin this process, understand that if you can translate what people are saying to you, you'll have a better outcome. See, when somebody says, I have no money, you translate objection, they're lying, they're stalling, I don't know why they do this. If you translate it to, oh my gosh, they're wanting to protect their money because they don't feel safe here yet. They don't see the return yet. I can't think of one of you that has a service, product, or a tool that you could offer that is going to take money away from your prospects, period, end of story. I don't know that any of you have that. I think there's a value-added prospect, a value-added tool that each of you have. Does that make sense? So if a client says, I need to think about it, we need to pretend that's rational. You encounter, think louder. When somebody says, I need to think about it, we ask them to think harder. Don't we? We may not say those words. Think harder, think louder, think bolder. When somebody says, I need to think about it, awesome. What would be the 3 most important things you want to think about? A lot of times it's a smokescreen. If we could hear what they're saying versus triggering the protection lever and us saying, my presentation doesn't have objections. Oh, the heck it doesn't. Your presentation is lined with objections, left, right, and center. That makes sense? So if you were to encounter in a conversation, somebody says, that's too expensive, say that again while touching your sternum. Who taught you your worth? When somebody says that's too expensive, ask them, say that again, touching your sternum. Physiology, right? Physiology, focus, language, and meaning. If you get them to touch this area, say, hey, listen, say that again, but just hold your hand over your sternum. They're going to think you're nuts, because now all of a sudden nobody has responded to an this is too expensive objection with asking me to do something to get in touch with my body. I want you to practice that right now. Say, that's too expensive. Now put your hand over your shoulder, over your chest, and say it again. That's too expensive. It shifts the language. Now you can say, well, no, it doesn't, because you want to be right, and you're actually trying to overrule your body. When you do certain things physically, it changes the frequency in your body. So I would like to ask you, so who gave you an idea of how much you're worth? If something is too expensive, somebody said you're not worth it. Doesn't that change versus trying to deal with the objection of price? Because it triggers a protection lever in us. It says, oh, well, it's not that expensive. And we start to go down this road. What if your response when somebody says, I don't have money, or that's too expensive? You ask them, so who told you the price of your worth? Never out logic shame. Out embody it. Think about that for just a moment. We want to out logic shame, and an objection is shame. If it's triggering something in their body, they are feeling shame, and we are trying to out logic something that's in their body, and you just can't. They will end up needing to defend it. We need to outbody it. Now, not the only way, one of the easiest ways this whole concept works is if you have permission to have these conversations, isn't it? So wouldn't it make sense to ask the 3 questions? Do you see what, I know it's going to sound funny. Do you see what you can get away with if you ask the 3 questions first? If you're struggling in your presentations and you're getting a lot of resistance, I can promise you, you have probably avoided asking the 3 questions. Whether you did it intentionally, whether you did it unintentionally, you simply forgot the power of those questions because your default mode network drives you to start off right with whatever your presentation is. That makes sense? So never out logic shame. Learn to outbody it. Let me ask you this. What is your most profitable objection? The one you still hide behind. What is the objection you still hide behind that would become your most profitable objection? Now, what's the one you use? What's the one that you use for your conversations? What's the objection you're using to stay stuck where you are? Listen, I last night I posted on Facebook. I haven't even checked it this morning. Before I went to bed last night, I had a kind of an epiphany. Your comfort zone is a crime scene. Your comfort zone is a crime scene. And in a crime scene, what are they looking for? The evidence that points to the crime. And the challenge is many of us haven't looked at our own comfort zone to find the crime that's keeping us stuck. So if I were to ask you, the attendee, the participant in this conversation, this monologue, me talk, you listen, you talk in your head, what is the most powerful, profitable objection you're still using to avoid your success? There is an objection that would create tremendous profit if you began to avoid it. What is that? I don't know. That is the most profitable objection the majority of people use to keep themselves stuck. I don't know. Well, what does I don't know look like? Well, what would you do? Tell me what you would say. My mentor would say, don't ask me a question unless you come with 2 options, 2 solutions, 2 ideas. He said, because I will never know the right answer for you. Until you know the best answer for yourself. So what is the most profitable objection you are still hiding behind? You, the one who says, I want more. You, the one who says, I need more. You, the one who says, life could be so much better. You are using your comfort zone as a crime scene, avoiding the evidence. Just asking. So when will you decide that enough is enough? That's the question I have for you today. When will you decide to investigate your comfort zone of what's keeping you comfortable? You are using an objection to avoid the best version of your life. That's the Paul Harvey rest of the story. So with that being said, good morning, good morning, good morning. Who's got some questions, conversations, topics associated with this kind of moving forward, this kind of internal introspection? Or if you've got questions on anything we've covered in the last couple of weeks. Good morning, good morning.
Let's start.
Let's start. Hang on. Where did that come from?
We're fighting this war
For our brain.
For our brain.
Hey, I knew he was going to say that.
Let's start.
There we go.
Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Selka.
How are you feeling this morning?
I am outstanding. I helped my buddy with, I think we AI'd 70 sheep, 60 sheep.
What is AIing sheep?
Artificial inseminating. You know, where
I get it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I understand now. I had no idea. I was thinking, AI.
technology-wise, yeah.
Yes, what do you do? Okay, well, I totally understand what you were talking about. That's not what I want to share this morning, but I wanted to share what happened to me last night, because it is very amazing. And I did not expect it. So I had to get my car washed last night. It was It was pretty dirty. So I have a nice car wash place. I think it's called Dirty Joe's or something like that.
Okay.
Corner. It's like a couple blocks from my house, and I've gone there before. So I drive up, and generally there's a nice attendant that helps you put your credit card in so you can pay for it. Well, there he comes, and he tells me, well, looking at your car, you've come to the right place. And my car was pretty dirty. And I said, yes. And I'm looking, and I said, do you still have the $13 wash? I only, need one wash. And he goes, well, I am going to buy this for you, and I'm not just going to buy you the $13 wash. I'm going to buy you the most expensive, because I want to give something to you. I was so shocked. No one's ever done that. This was a nice young man. His little name tag, Carlos. I've never met him before. Young. He was maybe in his 20s or 30s.
Okay.
So he said he wanted to bless me because he likes to bless people sometimes. And today, meaning last night, was my time to be blessed. Can you even imagine that? I mean,
Absolutely. I love it. What a great story.
yes, yes. I mean, if there was more people like him, the world would be so much of a better place. And to, I'm still blown away. I mean, it felt so nice. I don't come across that very often. I don't think I've ever come across that. I mean, I've done that for other people, but it was just so amazing and so unexpected and so powerful. I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook, but I posted. I didn't take a picture of him, but I put a picture of the place, the car wash. But yeah, I mean, I was just so honored that he picked me. I mean, how amazing is that? I was almost in tears, and I still am thinking about it, how someone that never met me before was so very kind. So I wanted to share that because, going into the weekend and everything, it makes so much of a difference in someone's life just to even do something small. And I'm sure it wasn't small for him. I'm sure he doesn't earn that much money being an attendant at a car wash. And he paid for, I think it was like the $39 for my car to get washed. I mean, can you just imagine that? How that makes me feel so loved and so cared about by someone I didn't know, and I may never meet again. I just want to go back there and give him a hug. I know that's kind of weird, but
no, it's not. It's really not. So what makes this special? I'm going to help you. So I'm going to shift you out of a give and receive to what makes the encounter special. I want you to shift the way you look at things. This is a Wayne Dyer. Change the way you look at things. It's an amazing, special moment. What makes it special? What made it special, and what continues to make it special?
That this person cared about me and picked me to do something nice for, out of the blue, to want to bless me.
Okay, but that's the same conversation we had. What change the way you look at this experience?
Well, tell me how.
I want you to start to change the way you look at it. I want your brain to activate a new set of neural patterns. So to start to say, okay, why was it special for Carlos?
For Carlos, he was able to give something to someone. And
so in order for Carlos to get his specialness out of this arrangement, he had to give, or he got to give. What did Carlos need if he wanted to give?
A person that needed what he wanted to give.
Wanted to receive it. He could have.
Oh, I should be.
No. Not this. Isn't about should. This is about simply about awareness.
Okay.
It's not about should. It's about awareness. In order for Carlos to have a good day, to be able to gift somebody, he had to come across somebody who was willing to receive something. Correct?
Yes, but I'm thinking, wouldn't anybody that gone to that car wash been willing to receive that?
They would have been, oh, good. Would they be talking about it on a morning call and spreading the good news?
I don't know. I don't know what other people would
So why
do.
do you think the universe picked you?
So I could share this beautiful moment.
So that's the gift you get to give back to Carlos. You are still talking about Carlos. You are still talking about this car wash place, Dirty Joe's or whatever it is.
I don't even remember what it is. Oh, it's Soapy Joe's.
There it goes, Soapy Joe's. So my point is that the universe in perfect alignment came across a Carlos. Now, you don't know, maybe, there's a chance that he owns the place. There's a chance, probably not true, but there's a chance.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So what if in his giving, the way he's built his businesses at a very young age was he would give away $40 and he gets more than $40 in advertising, in posting, in goodwill. If karma is good and the universe says you'll get rewarded 10 times over, he just got himself a $400 blessing somewhere. See, he truly understands karma. He understands what he gives out, and the energy and the speed with which he gives out determines the speed with which it comes back and the force with which it comes back with. So the key to this whole thing about Carlos growing is that he came across Silke Carpenter, who was willing to receive the gift and enjoy it for every penny it's worth. So you had to show up.
Yes.
And when you shift this from, oh my gosh, I was given a gift, to, oh my gosh, I allowed Carlos to receive his gift of giving. I allowed him to receive it in a way without resistance, with true love for what it is, not, oh my gosh, I got a free car wash. I got to experience the love of another human being that came through a car wash, that allowed my car to and the universe said, you want a $13 one? Are you kidding me? I'm going to double it. I'm going to triple it. I'm literally going to give you 3x the benefit, the worth of what you thought you were going to get. The universe did that in an instant through Carla. And the surprise part, could you imagine if your goal in life, if your mission in life was to outperform everybody's dreams that they had? They said they wanted one house, you gave them 10. They wanted 2 cars, you gave them 20. And every time people got the benefit of hanging around you, they're like, I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. Nobody ever does this. You're like, why can't you just be in joy for receiving the gifts I have to offer? I have abundance to give you. So the shift I'm offering you is that when you receive this, don't be surprised. This is who you are meant to be. You are meant to be the receiver, because everybody loves to give. Few can become a professional receiver. And in that profession of receiving, your joy is absolutely overabundance. You are allowed to be surprised. You are allowed to be loved in every breath of your life. So this idea of, I was shocked, I would offer you to say, wow, I get to allow Carlos to give more than he ever thought possible. And he gets off fairly easy. It's $39. Maybe he's got to work 2 hours, 3 hours to pay for that. If that actually came out of his pocket, it probably did. Maybe there's a promotional cue that he gives or does something so that they can inspire more people coming to the thing. Whatever it is, the key is you were at the right place at the right time, that the universe said, I need you here now. I need your car dirty. I need you to show up, and I need you to be ready to receive. Don't be surprised. When you shift that, it's not ego. It's not I'm entitled. It's not you owe me. It's you happen to be the right vessel that Carlos could say, I love you with a car wash. And it didn't fall on deaf ears. It didn't get lost. It didn't get swept down the car wash drain by the time you drove out of the tunnel, getting your car blown off. You're like, okay, I got to deal with the other stress in my life. It caused you to become present, to think about this, to get excited over a car wash, to get excited even better than you want. I want the 13. I'll give you the 40. I will 3 times it. I will 3x what you wish for. This should be a clue to you that the universe is listening to you. That the universe is saying, Silka, you are entitled to amazing abundance. And I'm going to show you that you can even get it at a car wash. And I want that shift to take place in you. It's not an ego shift. It's not a I'm entitled shift. It's a I get to be a blessing in people's lives. Because you were a blessing in his life. You showed up at the right time. Listen, I'm going to give you this. And your reaction was like, oh my gosh, really? Yeah. Seriously? This is so amazing. Oh my gosh, I love you. You are so incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And he felt that true energy. Here's the challenge. Could you imagine? No, I don't want that. No, I don't want, because they're probably going to use my credit card for, I don't know. But you can imagine somebody would reject that. I don't know why. Well, it's not our choice to know why, but there's somebody who's going to go, no, just give me the $13 one. I'll pay for it. They don't want to be part of the Reciprocity Act. The forced law of reciprocity. I do something nice for you. You have to do something nice for me. There's people who won't smile back at you. So what I'm offering you is this was a little nudge from the universe that said, Silka, you are important. And I'm going to show you that your blessings can come simply by being present for another person. No arguing. There was no arguing. There was no debating. There was no objecting. There was no, I don't have time. I don't have time for a $39 car wash. Just give me the cheap one. No, there was no discussion. There was none. And this is a clue for you, for Carlos, because Carlos is going, man, she really liked that. Carlos, I bet, is going to wake up this morning feeling a little bit more energized because he's being spoken of in love and honor and respected. He doesn't even know it. Doesn't expect it, but doesn't know it. And so he's going to be inspired to give somebody else. Can you imagine the chain reaction that you have now triggered inside of Carlos to give more? There's other people that are going to get their car clean because you showed up and you were a perfect vessel to receive Carlos's love, his honor, his respect, without offending him, without making him feel bad, without any aggravation, that he's going to go do it again. This is the law of abundance, which is what Wayne Dyer would say, change the way you look at things. This isn't just a simple car wash. This could end world hunger. I'm not kidding. This is
true.
This is that powerful.
If everybody would just do a little thing like that, how amazing would that be for the entire world? It
starts with what? Starts with you.
It starts.
And I know you've done it. I know you've done it. What I'm saying is from this day forward, you now started telling the Carlos story. And it might inspire. Listen, I don't know. Let me ask anybody here. Has it inspired anybody? Is anybody thinking, you know what? I'm going to do something nice today. Drop an N in the chat if you're going to do something nice today. If you're going to slip a little $5 in a diaper bag in Walmart, you're going to go put $5 in a diaper box. Silka, this is the power. This is the power of you telling this story. Look at the people who are typing an N in the chat. They're going to do something nice. $5. Doesn't have to be a $300 car wash or a $30 car wash or $5. You know what it is when you find a penny. How many of us are excited when we find a penny? Oh my gosh, I found a penny. You got 390 pennies.
I always pick up a penny. Yeah.
So that's a penny is God saying abundance is available. Are you excited about what it looks like? Because there's people going, oh, yeah, I found a penny. I won't pick a penny up. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. But that's okay. Leave it for me. I'll get it. And if I find one penny, I'll usually find a dime or a nickel. Because the universe is just so excited. Oh, thank you. Somebody excited to pick up a penny. Here's a dime. I'm like, one day I found I found $1.35 and who puts $1.35 in change on the ground? It fell out of their pocket. They dumped their ashtray. I don't know what it is, but $1.35 in change, nickels, dimes, pennies, quarters. Like, this is crazy. I always scan the parking lots. I always scan the parking lot whenever I'm walking. And then what I'll do, because most people go to a gas pump, I'll leave a nickel. I'll leave a quarter. Somebody goes, "Oh my God, I found a quarter." Excited over 25 cents, but they won't turn off their TV to go make $500, but they get excited over a quarter. Anyways, so thank you for doing that. Thank you for inspiring that. And I need you to receive this too, Silke. I would offer you to receive all of the people that just put an N in there. Might not, they're good people. We're all good people here. The fact that you told a story about this, and I asked them, right? We asked them, raise your hand if you're going to go do something. You've just inspired, I don't know how many ends were up, 5, 6. You just impacted 6 people's lives who you will never meet. Yet your vibration rings through the nice gift they're about to receive. And that's the thing I would offer you to receive, is how much you've impacted the global world simply by receiving your joy from Carlos, and still excited about it.
I am. Yes, I am. That's why I wanted to share it too. I want to share it with everyone because it's really impactful, I think, for him and I both. And certainly I am a very good receiver. I told him how much I appreciated him, and I told him that he's just made my day. And so, and he did. I mean, so I am like, yeah, I'm glad that I allowed him, as you put it, to that I received the gift. When I was thinking about that, you know, it's so weird. I was thinking, wow, if he was going to give that gift to someone and someone wouldn't take it, or would say, oh, you know, I don't need it, keep it. Or, you know, you're right. Sometimes people do that. And
oh, I don't have time to wait for the wax to be put on my car. I need to get through this tunnel.
it didn't take any longer, really. It just was, you know, different. But yep. I wasn't worried about that. I just felt so happy because he, you know, he did this for me.
So here's the teaser in business. Are you ready for the teaser in business?
Yes, I'm always ready.
my world of business, and you can say, listen, Carlos, this is amazing. I don't know if they paid you extra for this, for being this kind or being this gracious, but I can promise you this. My business partners would love to meet somebody with your energy. If he asks you what you do, this isn't the time. I just want you to know that if you're ever looking to expand your creativity and an exponential impact on people, and to do this on a global basis, to be able to give things like this on a global basis, my business partners would love to be around somebody's energy like yours.
Yeah.
And then it's a takeaway from there. Well, tell me about it. I'll give you my number. The requirement is, to hear about it, is you've got to do the reach out. I'm not going to chase. I don't chase people, Carlos. I get things given to me like this. You're an amazing soul. This happens to me all the time. It happens to my business partner all the time. The world needs more of us, Carlos. And I'd love to figure out how to help you get more of what you want.
Oh, you're so amazing how you put this in the context of a connection for, yes, I mean, this is certainly the type of person I would love to work with, because I mean, yeah, how wonderful would that be? I was thinking about that.
And so one of the things I learned very early on is that whether they're a hotel check-in clerk or somebody at Home Depot or the big box places, anybody that interacts with humans can be a little jaded towards the energy that most humans have to offer them. So I'm always on the lookout for somebody's sound, somebody's energy. Their words are scripted, but I'm looking for somebody who's got the the right stuff. And I'll walk up to them, whether they're at the pro desk because they deal with contractors. They're dealing with people who don't want to, cut through the chase, give you the stuff. So I'll walk up to them when they're a little slow and they'll say, "Can I help you?" I said, "You already have. Can I mention something to you, or can I ask you a question?" "Sure, go ahead." Do they pay you extra for the incredible energy you bring to here? Or is that just a gift you get to give them?
Oh, wow.
And they smile and they laugh. They go, "Well, no, that's just my human nature." You realize there's people that pay a lot for that kind of energy, right? Well, no, not really. So you've been doing it a long time, so much so that you don't even notice how special you are. Oh, well, stop. That's too, no, it's true. And I bet you have friends who tell you, "You're so much better than this." You're not better than you. You're amazing. The challenge is that sometimes there's fear to step out into using all of your gifts. I teach people who have these incredible gifts how to get rewarded from them on a global basis. If you're ever interested, or if something has piqued your interest in our conversation right now, that there's more in you to give and more in you to receive, it probably wouldn't hurt you to have a 35, 40-minute conversation with me. I travel the globe looking for people like you. I love when I find them in my own backyard.
Wow. Your words have huge impact. Just your words. That's amazing. You can move people with your words.
And again, we know this, words don't teach. Our goal is to inspire inspiration, because we don't need to motivate them, right? Jim Rohn would say motivation is the worst thing you could do, because if you motivate an idiot, what do you get? A motivated idiot. So we don't need I want to motivate people. No, you don't. If you inspire them, you allow them to have this enthusiasm, the God within, in theos, the last part of enthusiasm. Inspiration allows them enthusiasm, which they get to own. Motivation, I got to show up every day and motivate you. I don't want to do that. Could you imagine if I had to go out and motivate the sheep to eat?
Oh, wow.
Ain't gonna work. I mean, I can't. Come on, you got to get up, Anura. You got to go eat. I don't want to. I'll just die here. And that's how most people, right? They die at 21. We bury them at 65.
Wow.
So Carlos is alive.
Yes.
The next time you go through, I would call down there and I would ask, "Is Carlos there?" And well, he doesn't take personal calls. I'm glad he didn't answer the phone, because I don't know if you know this, but Carlos is a freaking phenom. He's amazing. And I just wanted to let somebody there at the office know. Oh, we love you'll hear the story. We love Carlos. Yeah. Yes, he's working, because I only want to get my car washed when Carlos is there. The water cleans better. The vacuum sucks better. The aroma smells better when Carlos is there. I'm not coming unless Carlos is there.
I was thinking of calling them to tell them to give Carlos a raise. That's what was in my mind.
Well, say, listen, I don't know what your I don't know what your criteria is for giving people raises, but Carlos has created a lifetime client with me. I won't get my car washed anyplace else. So I don't know what your criteria is, but Carlos has sold me. And I know he's not on your sales team, but maybe he is, because he sold me, and I will only get my car washed at Soapy Joe's. I'd say that.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. I love you very much.
Love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go California West Coast to way over East Coast across the pond to Serbia. Hey, AJ, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bubba. How's it going?
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Hey, I had a conversation about you last night. I'm not quite sure if you got the hiccups or not, but Andrew was over at my place and we had a conversation about you. And it was interesting because he's working with a guy. This guy is in his late 30s, almost, pushing 40.
Pushing 40.
And
Y'all hear that? Who wants to punch him in the throat? Pushing 40
pushing
like that.
40. This guy is, I mean,
My
ancient.
God, I'm surprised he could even, his brain still works. It's not petrified. F
This
you, and that
guy's
doesn't stand for follow up.
this guy is ancient, okay? And you know I love y'all.
I know.
And
Check
this
it.
guy has a very interesting, I heard that. This guy has a very interesting perspective on things. And then I said,
Yep.
well, you know what? My mentor has been doing this longer than your mentor has been living.
God,
And we had
that
a
now that yeah, now that guy's pushing the grave. Yeah.
oh, that guy's yeah, that guy's great. Anyhow, I talking about introspection,
Mm-hmm.
I did that yesterday since I was not aware that we did not have a call. So
Okay.
I was out there, I was alone. I was like, what where's everybody? And then I remembered you say this all the time that in the case we don't have a call due to Armageddon or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that we take that hour to sharpen our own saw on
Mm-hmm.
our own time. And I said, okay. So went through my pillars, made an introspection, and then I messaged you later that day. And then this morning I was thinking about the whole thing and specifically about your response. And I noticed growth within the actual writing. Because what I've done is I went through each pillar and I said, okay, this is what's good, and then this is what needs improvement. And I realized there's growth just in there how I set up the place, how I set the stage, because I didn't say this is bad, 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 and just trying to uh, shame myself into starting the shame loop.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, so this is good, this is what I'm doing, and then this is what needs improvement. And then as I was writing the whole thing, I realized a lot of things I haven't exactly thought about, which are now true.
Hmm.
And the biggest takeaway out of that little hour session was that I never actually realized that over the last couple of weeks, I've been at a all-time low. I mean, I'm talking all-time Hall of Fame low, okay, with negative thoughts. And in the rare occasion that they do happen or triggers happen, I realize that they just kind of bounce right off. And then I remembered you said this to me a couple of months ago as we sharpen our saw and as we build our edge, so to say, when we go into conversation with people and when we go out there in the world, it's like you have a bazooka and they're coming at you with spitball. And I remember that. And I was like, oh, wow. So this is very intriguing now because unless I'm talking for me now, unless I stop every once in a while and just kind of take a little speck in the rearview mirror, I don't see how much I've grown. So I did that yesterday, and it turns out I'm actually doing far better than I thought.
Shocking
Which
how
is
awareness will change that.
that is outstanding. I'm standerer than I thought. And then I messaged you, and now, so this is the question. I wasn't quite certain what you wanted to say with the response. So when I sent you all of that, you said decide what kind of person you want to be in non-negotiables and all that. I wasn't certain were you talking about me understanding I am a non-negotiable person or just to understand which things in my life are non-negotiable.
Sure.
That's the part I didn't kind of get.
Sure. Sure. That's the answer.
Oh, so you think you're smart.
So here's the thing. in order to be, there's a difference between being flexible and negotiable. Your friend calls you, you're about ready to head out for your 10,000 steps, and your friend calls you and says, I need you. That's flexible. There's going to be something, God forbid, happen that walking your 10,000 steps isn't as important as taking care of a friend. Where your skill pops in is, listen, I'm about to do something. Here's a response, and I don't know that you've ever heard it. I haven't used it in a while. I used it a lot more when I was doing consulting, or when people really needed to get a hold of me, and I literally would shut off my phone when I was having thousands of people want to connect with me. I would leave this message. Hi, it's Sean Murphy. Thanks so much for calling. Listen, I'm focused on my number one priority, and that's my family. You're a very close second. I'll get back to you just as soon as I'm done with my number one priority. Feel free to leave a message. Can't wait to talk to you soon and solve some challenges. When I'm on my number one priority, being here at the ranch, if you want me to leave my ranch, I'll go to the mailbox all day long. But you want me to get on the road out in front of the ranch, it's 15K. Because with technology, we can do it all. You want me to leave my sheep to leave Anura? Who's going to give Anura bedtime kisses? Who's going to? Nobody. You're taking me away from walking out on the dock I built. What happens is that my non-negotiable is you can borrow time from me when I'm with my family. If you're asking me to leave my family, that's a non-negotiable. That there needs to, and the money is never for me. When that shifts in all of your minds, if somebody is taking you away from your spouse, away from your puppy, away from your thing that brings you joy, somebody's got to pay for it. And the money is never for you. It's for the treat you want to leave for them. So when you look at your pillars, the question I would ask you now is, what are your pillars holding up? Because they work in concert. If you've got one pillar stacked way out there and another finance pillar over there and the body pillars way over there, have you brought them together that they could support the world? Are they so interactive and yet channeled by themselves? But how much is the interwoven, is the interwinding, the linking between them absolutely so impenetrable that when something in your mind, something on TV, somebody says something, when the spitballers show up and you're carrying around your bazooka, that it doesn't affect your health? This whole idea of our thoughts can influence our body, our thoughts can influence our day. Everything you pass by, everything you drive by, every bit of advertising, every bit of car, every bit of music in the car next to you is invading your body. It's invading through visual, through audio, through smell, through pollution, through a variety of things. The sound of birds. Why do we like the sound of birds over the sound of a car engine? Now, there's times where we like to hear a car engine rev up. You sit down behind a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and you floor it, and there's just that rumble, there's that vibration. We wouldn't like it all the time. We don't need to be at full power all the time, but boy, it's nice to know we got it. Versus getting in your Yugo and going, right? There's just this, and it's like, well, there's no power there. And we're walking around going, versus, right? We're going, and everything. I don't even want to listen to that. That's such a cheesy sound. So as you sharpen this saw, what you're becoming aware of is the core. Is we can sharpen the blade. Now, when we have a sharp blade, we've got to be very careful of who's holding the sword. Sadhguru says, when we talk about awareness, perception, and you ask somebody, do you want a sharp perception or a dull perception? Oh, I want a sharp perception. That'd be like handing a 2-year-old a machete. They don't mean to harm anything, but what are they going to do? They're going to use the machete. They're going to use their perception. They're going to just start swinging at things, and they're going to wind up cutting people. And even worse, they're going to wind up cutting themselves. Why don't we give a 2-year-old a knife? Why don't we give them a cleaver? Because there's a good chance they don't know what it is. Most people's perception, they don't know what it is. They're not aware of the abundance that exists for them. Right? That old phrase, if I'm a hammer, everything's a freaking nail. Could you put the nail in the wall to hang a picture with a chainsaw? You could. Probably wouldn't work, but you could. It's not the right tool for it. So we've got to ask, what tool do I need in this situation? And if we're encountering humans, we need our human tool. And we need to be able to read humans. We read books. We read lots of books. Nobody's reading a book on humans. What does it mean when their eyebrows furrow and they get the WTF wrinkle? What does it mean when they cross their arms? Doesn't mean that they're against you. It could be that they're cold. What does it mean when I sit down to have this introspection? I would ask the next time you sit down to write, who's sitting down to write? Old story, new story, future story. Who's getting ready to become aware? And the reason writing, the physicality of writing, is because it slows the brain down and you are an absolute creation. So who is writing in isolation? Who is writing in community? Could you imagine? Could you imagine what it was like if you were signing a decree and you were signing something? Imagine if the universe gave you an opportunity to sign into law that no children in Serbia would ever go to bed crying. Would you sign that by yourself, or would there be a committee around you? Would there be people watching it? Would there be people wanting each letter that you sign of the pen? You use a pen for each letter. Well, here's the pen you used to sign the law into place. So when you did your introspection about non-negotiables, the non-negotiable is no child cries. Now I'm flexible until I make it the rule. And the rule is around you that no child you know should ever go to sleep crying. Whatever your rule is. Have you checked in on the kids that you've started this tradition with? Do you check in on the parents? See, the universe gave you a chance to offer abundance and bewilderment to this child. The challenge is has it become a given that they can have more? Not that they need to be given. How many times is it somebody that we really love and honor and respect when we find out they were checking in on you? They asked about you. Really? What'd they say? Sally was asking, remember when you were trying to date somebody or going out? Sally was talking about you. Really? What'd Sally say? Go ask Sally's friends to ask Sally about, right? Why don't we do that now? Call our friends, call your friends who have the kids that you brought the bananas to, or the oranges to, and say, or the wife wanted oranges and they wanted bananas, something, and say, hey, listen, I'm just checking in on Slavov. How's he doing?
You butchered it. You killed it. Yeah. It's really interesting when you said how do they complement each other, because they work in concert. The pillars, they work in concert. And it's because of the word because. Why do I make 10,000 steps? Well, it's because I want my body to function properly. Why is that? Well, it's because, and then so on and so forth. And the last because at the end of all the becauses, the last because is that I need that. I must have that. I must have a healthy body, a sharp mind. I must have money. I mean, if you want to do good, you got to have money. That's just how it works. I got to be good in my society. I got to be well connected. I need to have a network. I need to have my reach expanded. And all of that is because if I want to live up to my DMP, all of these things need to be checked out. So that's you know what's interesting to me? Now, actually, this is fascinating to me. That as we are on this 8, 9 month trip, let's say, at this point in time,
Mhm.
I'm getting independence more and more each day. And not in the terms that I don't need you, it's just in the terms that we've been over this through repetition and just kind of nailing it down in there. And I feel as if I can get to conclusions a lot faster now because I've heard it over and over and over again with you. And you told me that over and over and over again. And I'm just loving this repetition because I see real life change. I see real life everyday results that pop up. And and this is what I said was good in my society pillar. I honestly think I'm really better at understanding people, events, and circumstances. Just as you said right now, when they frown, when the freckles show up, when they do this, when they do that, when you say this and they respond with that, and so on and so forth. I notice that I'm really getting better at understanding these things and these interactions. And I do gotta swear to use it for good because I noticed just yesterday I had a situation at the lake. We were joking, me, this guy that works there, and the son of the female owner that you're never gonna know the name of. Uh, we had some, let's say, stand-up joking session, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy that works there got triggered, and it got real bad real quick. He got mad real bad real quick. Now, when I came home and I actually thought about it, initially, I gotta say, I did not have the best response ever. Initially, I was making the distance immediately. I wanted to shut him down, and I did, which was bad on on my behalf. So I'm gonna apologize to him today. However, when I came home and I spoke with Andrew last night, I realized what was that all about. We had a joke. I bought some sunglasses on Temu for like $5. There were like 10 of them,
Mhm.
cheap as hell. And then this guy was selling one pair of those for $5, and I bought like 10 of those for $5, and he sold one of them for $5 to the other guy that was sitting with us. And I jokingly said, "Oh, you mother flicker! I bought these for $5 for like 10 pairs, and you're selling them for $5 each. That's a good business." Ha ha he he. And we were laughing, and then all of a sudden he just got so triggered. And then as I thought about it when I came home last night, speaking with Andrew, I said to myself, I go, why is this guy, why did he get triggered so bad? And then it hit on me because as the conversation went along, he said that's a good business model, and I said sure. So the money that you're making here, bartending plus that money that's gonna pile up, right? And then he comes back at me. He wanted to hit me below the belt, and he said because this guy is I think he's 30. He graduated law school, but he hasn't. I don't know if you guys have that in the States, but in Serbia, when you graduate law school, there's still this one test that's like a government test
Got
for
to
you to
take
get
the
your
bar.
yeah, the bar. So he hasn't passed the bar in Serbia. He graduated law school, hasn't passed the bar, and he's working as a bartender at
Mhm.
30. I respect all professions. I respect every business. This guy probably got offended because the next thing that came out of his mouth was, "Oh, you think you just because you scored a thing here and there, you think you're smarter than all of us? I'm more educated than you, and I got this and I got that, and so on and so forth." And I saw where he came from, so I said, "Okay, well, if you're more educated than me and you graduated law school and you did this and that and so on, can you please pass me the coffee I ordered 10 minutes ago?" Boy, stuff got bad real quick. So I'm gonna apologize about that. That was pretty defensive on my end. However, when I yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That was really bad.
So
Uh,
wonderful
kind
thing
of,
is, your default mode network is still active.
yeah. That was real bad. Yet, I'm not gonna say but because that was real
Okay.
bad. I'm not gonna negate that. That was really bad. Yet, when I came home and I started thinking about it, I actually realized that the reason why this guy flipped on me was, and this is just my opinion, and you know what they say about opinions. Everybody
Mhm.
has one. I think I got him triggered because he wanted to kind of make that $5 deal behind closed doors, and he might have felt as he got caught, you know. And then he wanted to project stuff on me because he knows I'm younger. He knows I'm doing better and I'm doing this
Right.
and that, or he sees that at least,
Mhm.
in his physical reality. And I understood why that happened. I did make a real bad joke. It was real bad. It was funny, but it was real bad. And I'm gonna apologize to him later today. Yet I realized the thing we spoke about last night, the thing I sent you in the message. I understand now the whole interaction when I kind of made my distance from it and I summarized the whole interaction. I realize now that he was maybe projecting onto me, and maybe this is where he got triggered and he just flipped. And I could see that level of depth now, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I I could really go back in time and just see the whole interaction from a from a third person view, and I'm getting better in that. So I'm proud of that, despite the fact I made a real bad joke.
So you ready for
I
the
am,
upgrade?
yes, sir, always.
So yesterday you were playing checkers. When you went home and had your introspection, you realized you can play chess. See, the next time you go to say that, you could actually run that whole play while you're listening, intently listening. You can send your under the hood conversationalist to go out and run those programs and find out who the hell is speaking in your head, who's on stage, because the dickhead showed up on stage.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh
And
yeah.
that's okay. And listen, you can say, oh, wait, we're not going to say that, because you can play out that whole thing. You can, right. So what's going to happen now is that you realize that he went through, because it's graduate school and then you got to go through law school, right? I think there's additional college university to go through law school. I don't
Here
know.
no,
Maybe.
no, here no.
Okay. So no. So now he's got to pass the bar. He's got another test. So do you realize that every day he shows up, he's taking his bar exam, and every day he's failing because he's not
I
actually taking the test.
I
So
didn't realize that
he
either.
is such in a triggered area to actually let anybody know that he went to law school. The fact that anybody knows he went to law school and he's a bartender, could you imagine what his parents are saying or his girlfriend is saying or whoever is saying? You studied law and you're what I would offer you is to say, hey, listen, you know what? You're a damn good attorney. Well, I'm not an attorney yet. No, no, no. You are dealing with life experiences that allow you to, and being a bartender, talk about dealing with plaintiffs and defendants on a daily basis. You hear stories all the time. You've got enough ammunition that as you step into a courtroom or as you use your legal skills, most people don't have bartenders who have that capability and that qualifications to do that. You must really kind of like people because this is a people job. So I applaud you for using your high end skills to deal with some low end conversation.
I probably would need to go later to him hat in hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I get it.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, yesterday
it was
I was
bad.
yesterday I was horrible. And I'm going to ask for your forgiveness? Oh, you know what? I probably got mad too. No, that's an interesting answer, not the answer to my question. I am truly asking for your forgiveness. I kind of shared it with my mentor, and he literally beat the living crap out of me. Now, you did it on your own, but it was because of knowing I'm part of your world. I just went home and got my ass handed to me. And one of the only things on my calendar is to get your forgiveness. I don't know how long it's going to take, but that is something that I truly am hoping I can receive whenever you choose to let me have it. And that's it. I mean, just clear up front. Listen, I have to ask for your forgiveness. Yesterday, I was completely out of line. I was a total jerk, and it has affected me. And I just want you to know that before we have any future conversation, it has to be where you allow me forgiveness so that I can redeem myself. You can choose when to give it, and I'll leave you with that. And you turn to walk away. That's it.
Yeah, this is the growth we had.
Because the forgiveness isn't for him.
Yeah, it's for me.
The forgiveness is for you. So don't make it all about you.
Yeah. That's real
I
funny.
feel so bad. I felt that. Wait a minute. You're asking me to forgive you because you feel bad? Bullshit. You're asking forgiveness for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
rather than admit all that, just say, listen, I enjoyed our conversations. You're a sharp, amazing human being. And I felt horrible for my idiotic, stupid, at your expense joke. And I'm just asking for your forgiveness. And until I get that, there's really no reason for us to have conversations, because that's always going to be there like a fart in church. It's just going to be sitting there.
Oh yeah, he was mad last night.
Sure, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
and he
I
didn't
felt
get mad
bad.
at you. Here's the thing. He did not get mad at you.
Yeah.
Nobody can get mad without their own permission. He got mad because somebody called him out for the loser that everybody has told him that he is, and you were the one that triggered it. You were the straw that broke the camel's back. You might have inspired him to do great things. He goes, no, man, I needed that kick in the ass. Okay, I'm still asking for your forgiveness, because that was not one good human to another good human. And don't have any other conversation until forgiveness is granted. Because then it's just swept under the table. Now it's like indigestion. Hi. And you're trying to hold your burps in. It's always there. And that's a non-negotiable. And what'll happen from this moment on is that if you know his name, you can call this the Petrov factor, the Steve factor, whatever the guy's name is that I'm about to say something that's going to be wildly funny. Would their kids be excited to hear the story? And if their kids, well, they don't have kids. Would their kids are going to hear a story? Would they be excited? Would they be proud of their dad? Nope. Then I probably shouldn't put that into the universe. And that's what happens when you start your non-negotiables. When you know you can see the patterns, right? Nexting, your brain becomes so connected to the nexting of the listener versus the nexting of the speaker. So if I say that, what are they going to say? And you start to play chess, and you are playing three-dimensional chess in a three-dimensional world while everybody else is playing two-dimensional chess, two-dimensional checker. And that's what you're learning. That's the skills. When you start to sharpen your own tools, when you start to look at, and they become interconnected, your finance pillar with your society pillar, with your family pillar and your body pillar, and you realize the interconnectedness, the interwovenness. In the beginning, we have them isolated channels that we work in. It's like, well, there's my fast food industry, and there's my business industry, and there's my relaxation industry. No, they are all tied together. And what happens is at one point, they will eventually become one massive pillar, that the individual pillars will be the little marks. You know, when you see a column like a Roman column, how it's indented and there's the part that sticks out. Your pillars become that part, and they become multiples beyond the 6. What is your laughter pillar? What is your crying pillar? What is your joy pillar? Because they're all well, okay, so now if I have a joy pillar, I guess that could be in all of them. That's what happens when they all melt together. What's my laughter pillar? Do they laugh because it's funny, or are we laughing at them because we made them feel they became the butt of the joke? And so now all of a sudden the pillar is to, and you're operating out of your signal, which is why when somebody says you're an a-hole, isn't that fascinating? Because you're now going to look at them through your joy pillar. I love when people say you are an a-hole. I've got your attention. That's fascinating. How can I be of best service? Are you looking for a-hole number 1 service?
I kind of did that, but it was bad because later when they closed shop, I said hi to everybody, and they went to say hi to him, and he was just spitting fire,
Right.
how mad he was. And then I said, I'm sorry, blah blah. I didn't really mean it, but I said it.
Oh, so
And
that was signal. You checked the box, you checked strategy, you didn't check
yeah,
state. But
yeah,
this is,
that's
again,
true.
this is a learning experience. And listen, you are not going to be void of these.
Yeah.
If you set the stage appropriately, you can have many of these, is what you will need for growth. What happened in 45 seconds yesterday has been one of the most pivotable, is it pivotable? The most pivot shifting, the most energy shifting experiences you've had in a while in 45 seconds. This is hit at a deeper level than when you gave the money and he came back with a car full of groceries from the store, from the market. Oh my God, I got the super special on meat and blah, 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 blah. I can't believe it. I had a conversation with you and the universe blessed me. This one's going to hit harder because this one hit a little bit more internally to you. You realized, oh my God, my default mode network that I in my journals doesn't exist. That son of a bitch is fast to the surface. And they've been waiting to find a space to go work. They've been working out in the backgrounds. They're like these big bullies in the gym. And they're, you know, the call, you know, all your degrees and everything. Could you use that to go get me the coffee I ordered?
It gets worse every time you say it. God damn.
Listen, and this is why when I say, listen, one of us, if you see me panic, you better start worrying. Don't worry until you see me panic. Because if you see me panic, run. Nobody knows how the hell I've been through to be this nice. I was on a conversation with somebody yesterday where some accusations, some perceptions about how I was feeling were being expressed in a group that I'm not involved in, but I'm a part of, if that makes sense. I'm in it on paper, but I'm not in it in society and in community. I'm talked about. And because the person I was communicating with, I have a very close relationship with. And I started to say, hey, listen. And I was using words I don't typically use. They're like, oh my God, who is this? And what do you mean, who is this? I've never heard you express yourself this way. I said, listen, now you understand the hell I've been through to know why I'm so nice. Because you do not want to open up this knife, this cupboard of swords. Because I've got them. I do my best to keep them quiet. I'm like that Spider-Man who's inside the whatever his name is, Venom, who comes out in Venom in the black and blah, 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 and can eat your head off. I could bite your head off and you wouldn't even know it. They wouldn't even have time to feel it. But you really got to tick me off to activate that stuff. And what you're ticking me off is with an untruth. You're speaking the truth. Hey, listen, that's fascinating. I love that you see things that way. But when you start leaning into my what the reputation is, you don't go there, because my reputation is my legacy. That's the only thing I get to have control over. And if you think it's different than that, you can go to hell in a handbasket. I'll be happy to drive the car.
Well, thank you for the mastermind. What I learned is I learned that um, I still think I'm getting better at understanding these situations, because I could have come on here and say, you know what, I only said that because he started it, and then he told me that I do this and that, and then I responded and blah blah blah. And in reality, I said, whatever happened happened, and he got the better of me for me to say that. So it's still my fault that I said it, because when he said that, he did come at me first.
Mm-hmm.
When he said that, I could have just kind of.
So we need
Yeah.
part of the challenge is that we don't role play it again with the proper response. So if he said, "Oh, just because you got some big score, you think you're cool in life," what would be your response now?
Probably sarcastic.
Right. So this is where we have to honor their projection. Didn't they just activate a protection lever? We heard it as an objection. They're objecting that we got a score.
That's exactly what that is the specific word that he said
Yep.
just in Serbian.
Yep.
He said, you think you scored a couple times, you think you're smart. Right now, I maybe just say, I just got lucky, man, and I just want to do the best I can with the luck I got. So I'd probably say something like that, I think.
Well, say, hey, listen, it takes a team to score it. And I listen, I'm glad you can see the scoreboard. The question is that the score doesn't really count until we're dead. So we all have time to we all have time to get on the scoreboard. What I've been blessed with is I've gone from it being about my scoreboard to helping my friends get on the scoreboard in whatever way I can serve them. That's my goal, is how do I yes, I got on the scoreboard. Did I get lucky? Maybe. Did it take some work? Probably. But what I realized is being on the scoreboard is kind of fun. And I really want to help other people get on the scoreboard. That's why I have these conversations. You're a genius. There's probably, if there's more inside of any of us, that's what it's going to take to get on the scoreboard. And I'd love to help anyone achieve that. And I have my resources, my mentors are willing to serve me because they know the good that I want to help bring to the world. Is it okay? Listen, let me ask you this. The four of us, the three of us, the two of us in this conversation, is it all okay if we all get on the scoreboard? No, F you. Okay. Anything else before I go? Because if you're not scoreboard worthy, if you're not, and this is probably wouldn't be the time. Well, if you're not business class, oh, you're going to throw that in my face. So it's just use their words. Their words are what they measure things by, and they measure things by the scoreboard. So ask, is it okay if we help more people get onto the scoreboard? And
That's
where
a way better response.
yeah. And well, and the key is you've got to be in such your signal got punched. You got tased and you were affected by the tase. You weren't wearing the non-tasing clothes, the non-tasing energy that somebody go, well, yeah, you got one. That's, I get told that a lot. And it's probably 99% true, but it's that 1% that's not. I get it. I've done things faster, quicker, smoother. I probably did get lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. Question I have for all of us is, are we willing to keep working to find our right place, right time? By the way, get me my coffee. No, that probably wouldn't be the time to add that.
John Murphy, that's a way better response versus what I told him, because later that night when I wanted to pay the bill and go, I kept pushing, and he said I was an a-hole and etc. And And I said, "Oh, you think I'm an a-hole?" And he said, "Yeah, you're an a-hole for saying for this and that and blah blah blah." And I said, "Oh, well, if you think I'm an a-hole, then I suggest you take a number and take a seat, buddy." Oh, that was probably the that was the drop that made the coffee
Hmm.
spill. Bro. That was
That was
that was
the light to the fuse.
it was definitely the light of the fuse because like I said, stuff got real bad real quick.
Well, and
Uh,
again, so why were those loaded in your system? Because you as of yesterday, as of today, I believe it's different. But as of yesterday, you still didn't believe you were okay, you were allowed to be where you're at. You were waiting for other people to recognize your hard work, your efforts. They cannot, they will not, they don't, they can't. So nobody's going to recognize you for your success. They're only going to recognize you for the score. And you do not have to settle the score because you are always in the W column. They're going to work the rest of their lives to never hit the W column, and they're going to be mad at you. Who's going to be jealous of your success? There's a bartender at the place called Love. That's who's jealous
I
of your success.
swear to God, this is exactly word for word the conversation I had with Andrew last night. I swear to God, this is word to word the conversation we had last night, him and I. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
This
welcome.
was real.
And so, and it's an awareness. And listen, the forgiveness, you are not looking for his forgiveness. You are looking for him to forgive you. Now, you need to forgive yourself already, which I believe you've done. Now you're looking to make it universal so that, because you could really, listen, I could care less whether he forgives you or not. The question is will you be a dick again? That's what you've got to forgive yourself for bringing that out, putting that into the universe. That energy is now going to exist from now until forever, and you got to deal with that. That is going to come back to haunt you. It's called karma, baby. That's why you should be outstanding. You think because you hit one score, you made it big? Man, there's a lot of people who say that crap to me. And you know what? You're probably right. Listen, my mentor says one robin, what's a bird of spring that when you hear that bird in spring, you know, oh, the seasons are changing. Is there a bird over in Serbia that you hear that you go, ooh, that must mean.
Yep, yep.
What is it? What's the name of it?
It's called Slavoj.
One Slavoj doesn't mean it's spring.
Oh, actually, sorry. It's no. Actually, they have a saying. Just as you said that, I remembered. Lasta.
Okay, so one lasta doesn't mean it's spring.
Yep. And they say jedna lasta neće ni proleći. Yes, sir.
So one score doesn't mean I've succeeded. Because I can promise you this, in my world, I can have some strikeouts too. So did I get lucky? Yeah, if that's how it's seen, I think sometimes it's lucky. But one Slavoj doesn't mean whatever. One bird doesn't mean it's spring. We need a couple of them. And so I'm working on my next big at bat.
That's a completely different conversation versus what we were having. That's very. I mean, I was kind of caught off guard because this was just guys talk, just locker room talk.
Sure.
I
But
didn't think
sometimes
much of
people
it.
aren't in the locker room, they're in the pressure cooker.
Oh yeah. I didn't think much of it. The guy that bought the glasses didn't think much of it. I mean, he was just laughing about it. And then this guy was just through the roof. Yeah,
Because that
thank you.
$5, what's the typical tip the guy makes?
He makes maybe like extra 10, 15 bucks a day.
Okay, and how long does he work?
Oh, he puts in hours. He puts in like 10 hours, 11, 10.
Okay, so if you take 10 hours and divide it by $15, he just got a couple hours worth of work selling those glasses.
He did.
And you made him feel like shit for taking care of himself.
Yeah, put that on me now. I I thought this mentoring thing works. differently.
Remember, one of us will always have fun. Sometime both of us.
Yeah, sometimes.
So the
I'm
key
still waiting
is
for that time.
so the key is to acknowledge his entrepreneurial spirit. Oh my gosh, I wish I had your skills. I was excited to get them, to give them away. I love that you see that you know how to add value to things. Well, and that's why you're a good bartender. Anybody can get a drink any place. They come here because of you. You add value to every situation. But again, this is my goal is to get your brain to work that way. Because when you hear that, you're like, oh my God, that would be so awesome. Well, you just created new neural networks. I would practice that. Practice selling that to your computer mic. Take your headphones off and say, wow, you're almost an attorney. Then what do you say? Where do you go from there? What does your brain come up with? Because it's got two paths. You are at the fork in the road going, wow, could you get me my coffee? Or you have to use some amazing personal skills. And I have no doubt they will benefit you as you continue to move towards your bar exam.
The funny thing about it was the first time we actually got to know each other, he told me about the thing. He told me that he graduated law school. He still hasn't passed the bar, and it's been years since he graduated law school.
Mm-hmm.
And that he looks up to the female owner's daughter because she's a lawyer as well. She has her own shop set up somewhere around town. And we made jokes in those first couple of interactions when we were actually getting to know each other. I told him in front of everybody, I said, this guy's going to be my Harvey Specter in the future, and blah, blah, blah. And everybody was laughing, and he was laughing. And I told him I'm going to be on Wall Street someday because I'm going to go to the US. I'm going to be on Wall Street someday. This guy's going to be my lawyer. Ha, 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 he. And everybody was laughing. It was great. So it's not like I was a dick to this guy all the time. I mean, this was just one singular interaction where it just blew up for whatever reason. So,
Yeah. Listen, you only have to throw one
thank you.
hand grenade into a party.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would not know what would I do without you.
Well, and so here's the other thing, you're right, to JM3 yourself on this, right, is to look back 9 months ago and say, how long would it have taken me to get to this spot? Could I have ever reached this self-awareness in the path I was currently on?
Boy, that would be tough.
Right. So now realize that the best of your yesterdays are now the worst of your tomorrows. If that's the worst thing that happened, you ticked off one friend, one potential friend, you had to have a conversation that allowed you to expand and say, hey, listen, I owe you a lot. You taught me so much yesterday. I kind of am an asshole still. But I shared it with my mentor. I had a conversation because I really felt bad. I'm not asking for forgiveness for how I felt. I'm asking, can I be forgiven for being such a jerk? Because I will promise to do better in the future. And that's got to happen for us to have an interaction. If I order from you and this, that, or the other, that's all it's going to be but I really enjoyed our conversation and I just absolutely butchered it. My apologies. And I'm asking for forgiveness. And he may ruminate on it for a couple of days. If you go with your signal, it's kind of when the dog ate your shoes and you're yelling at them and you spank them and they peed on the floor and they do this and they do that. And then they kind of inch their way over and they put their nose under your armpit and you're like, what? And you can't not love them. If you give them a chance, they realize the energy they get to be around. They just need to be around your strong signal. They want to have the score. The only reason that he knows that you scored is because he knows what a scoreboard looks like. And there was no way for him to congratulate you because he's 30. What the hell am I doing? This punk ass kid he's done all of these things and he's at the thing buying drinks from me. I'm an attorney. their story shows up. It is a
Yeah.
vicious story, especially the higher the education, the more the expectation. An attorney and bartender, if you had a choice, if you asked a woman, if you had a choice to go out with an attorney and a bartender, they both look good, they both had great personalities, which would you go out with? We buy life based on title. So there you go. Great teaching, great training. Thank you for sharing it. Thanks for the vulnerability.
Thank you.
Your vulnerability gave us all courage.
Bonus.
Well, it was only because I was kidding. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Yeah, it was a big bonus, Roz. I love that. I love that you shared that. Because it's huge. It happens to all of us. And this one was big enough, was nuclear enough to pay attention to the explosion. There are firecrackers going off in life all the time that we are throwing into people's waters and watching it blow up in their face, or these little cuts, these little quicks, these little digs. That's why silence is the savior. Wow, isn't that fascinating? I've been called a lot of things. I love that that you called me. I love that I have a new title to think about. You are a smart cookie. Where do I go with that? Versus saying you're right, because that's fuel on the fire. You want to end an argument? Just say you're right, and they know they're not right because there's more to it. You're right. What do you mean I'm right? I don't want to be right. Blah, 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 blah. You're right. Oh, and then it's just they're just over the edge. You know, I get called a lot of things. Now, you know when I should have had the big score was I was playing back in football in high school. I had one big score and they called me lucky then too. So I guess you're right. I guess that's a pattern in my life. One big score, or if you miss it, man, everybody seems to know, they know your name too.
May I just jump in quickly?
Please, sure.
When you said the word, actually one of the ways you can end an argument right there on the spot is by telling them you're right. Let me share something I've done some time ago, which I heard from you, by the way. So this is your fault. I'm just kidding. There's an even worser way to finish an argument, which is by saying, "Oh, you're right. I'm rich. Let's move on." Boy, that's like, I mean, you're just patting their face. Yeah.
Well, that has to be said with signal.
Oh, yeah.
When somebody
I
just
noticed
keeps
that.
beating the door down, beating the door. Hey, listen. And I never say I say it. I say my mentor would say to me, and it would tick me off. So now we're common enemy. The mentor, they're going to tick me off and tick you off. So I'm not saying it. It's third party. My mentor would always say, "You're right. I'm rich. Let's move on." And I just wanted to kick him in the nut. So I'll say that to you. I'm right. You're right. I'm rich. Is it okay if we move on to the next topic? And rich has nothing to do with money. I'll always throw that in. Rich has nothing to do with money. Profit is what comes into your life. I choose my profit differently than I used to.
Thank you,
You're
Master.
welcome, brother. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I love you tons. I hope today find you with a great amount of joy. And let's see. Today is Friday. Are we doing a call tomorrow? Y'all tell me. I can do some Q&A. We can pick a topic. You guys can give me a topic that I can work on. What do you want? Y'all want to call tomorrow? Let me know. And let me.
You only need to ask once.
Okay. So what topic?
How to better respond when someone hits below the belt.
Okay. So the easy way to that, and we can go more into depth, but the way is to never let them get below your belt. Always be in service, always be in genuflection, always be in honoring somebody, and they can't get below your belt if you're always lower than them. Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. I don't know how much lower you can get in stature, and yet it was still Jesus. Can you wash the feet of your enemies? There's nothing hard to it, right? Keep your friends closer, your enemies closer. There's nothing hard about washing the feet of your enemies. Why would there be such an issue? Without your enemies, right? The devil outwitting the devil. I'm part of every cell. I'm part of every atom. Without me, the universe doesn't exist. The negative is in every single atom. I don't know how many atoms are in this roll of tape, but there is negative in this tape. I can use it to tape somebody's hands, or I can use it to tape an electrical connection that will light a city. The tape makes no difference. It's me making the difference. So when somebody hits below the belt, they can't. You can't hit below my belt because I'm not standing taller than you. I'm standing in service of you. I'm not a servant. I'm standing in service of you. Isn't that fascinating? When you have all of the power, there's no reason to show it. And there's no reason for them to know it. They'll know it when your response is, isn't that fascinating? You know what? You're probably right. I have made some good scores. What I don't know that you haven't seen is when I struck out a lot too. But nobody usually sees that. We've all done that, right? You can get buy-in from the group. We've all had some strikeouts. Anybody here not had a strikeout? Anyone never go to a game and you're not the pitcher and you had a no-hitter, you struck out on every at-bat? The key is we got to get to the next game. So I'm working on my next game. Yeah, I hit a couple of home runs. You're absolutely right. I got lucky. I was in the right place at the right time. I don't even know that I deserved those moments, but I got them and I'm going to use them. So we'll have a conversation. Maybe there'll be another topic that'll pop up when we talk tomorrow. So yeah, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Central Standard Time. Yeah, we'll go for there.
I'll definitely tell you how this interaction went.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'd love to hear it. You know, there's an expression in English. It's called your hat in hand.
No,
Right?
I know.
Okay, so you don't wear hats, so you can't throw that. Hey, listen, I got my hat in hand.
In that case, I'm gonna go to him with tail between my legs.
Okay. Now, you're still the alpha in the group. You don't have to go with your tail between the legs. And you don't have to go, when a dog rolls over on their back, it's because they're being submissive. They're opening up the most vulnerable parts to their body. You can be vulnerable. It's simply an apology. Listen, what you're really saying is I didn't give you a chance to learn from me how to make the score you've been looking for. Yours isn't becoming an attorney. I don't know anything about that, but I've got some friends who might be able to be of value to you. I've got some things that might be of inspiration to you. All you did was, he was looking in the mirror. He wasn't looking in the window you were offering. Remember that conversation?
Yeah.
He was looking in the mirror, and it wasn't your mirror he was looking at. He was looking at his own mirror, and he got mad at himself. And he's the wolf in the trap. That even if you're trying to come get him out of it, he's still going to try to bite you. Because I'm in a trap. Everybody's trying to kill me. No, I'm trying to come to help you. I'm in a trap. You put me here. I had nothing to do with your trap. Nothing to do with it. Yeah, but you're the reason I'm here. It doesn't make a lot of sense, which means it ain't going to make a lot of dollars. And if it doesn't make a lot of dollars, I don't have that conversation. Isn't that fascinating? So he's in a trap. He's got sunburn 4th degree, and every time you show up, you're the frickin' noon sun. Now he's gonna make more fun, right? Going through his head, he's gonna make all these funds. He's gonna, there's that ad, right? He's gonna talk about me. Oh, go get me my coffee because I got a law degree. All of that has been playing in his head.
I can go there hoping that he cooled off overnight.
And listen, that's his prerogative. You go with your signal of honor and respecting the protections that he pulled, the protection levers. Whether he forgives you or not is not up to you. You saying offering him peace, he's got to accept the peace. I'm responsible to you, not for you. I can offer you peace. If you don't want to be peaceful, listen. Not my monkeys, not my circus. But I go there with saying, hey, listen, I was just Captain Jerkalot, Captain Jerkamungus. Captain Aeolus Maximus, and I truly want to ask for your forgiveness. It's up to you to now either do or don't, either way. But I just want you to know, I got my ass chewed out because he wants his pound of flesh, but he doesn't know how to get it. So say somebody else got it. I got my butt chewed out, and I just feel, I really felt as horrible because I thought I was the kingpin. When I work with my mentor, he's got an expression. One of us will always have fun. Maybe both of us. Yesterday was not one of the days I had fun on the call. He made me recognize your genius, and I just absolutely, oof. I had an epiphany yesterday that I was just super a-hole among us, and I'm asking for forgiveness, and I'll just leave it at that. When you decide that I'm worthy of that, I'm able to receive that, I'll be here on bended knee. Let me know. Oh, you know what? It really wasn't that bad. And I blew up. All I need to hear is, I forgive you. That's all. And we'll go from there. Don't let him talk himself out of it.
Well, I'll do something like that.
And
Sure.
soft and soft and soft
Softer.
and quiet and absolute clarity in the signal. You know, when you put on headphones and it's just that bass comes through, but it's not overpowering, and every treble and every tone and every alto, it is clean and crisp. You want your sound to be there from the back of your throat, from the center of your heart. Breathe, pause, let words settle in, and have a dialogue, not a conversation. Conversation is two people independently having words that bump into each other. A dialogue is give and take and give and take. And there's probably not going to be a whole lot of taking on his part in the beginning. And I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I think Silke said it sounds like he wants to talk more, wanted to talk more, express more. It sounded, I didn't quite read the whole thing. I didn't have my glasses on. But there's a part of him that is looking.
No, I didn't mean to say that. What I meant is for AJ to talk less and just apologize and be authentic, because I have a feeling that this man probably was embarrassed, really embarrassed, and doesn't really want to revisit that.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, the key is just to say, hey, listen, this, and he's got a defense mechanism, because this ain't the first time he's lashed out at somebody.
Maybe. Yeah, very well, maybe.
Well, it definitely ain't. You're not that good, right, on your first try. That ain't the first time you kicked somebody right in the teeth. It wasn't your first rodeo. So we can be real good because we've practiced a lot. We only do things subconsciously of things we practiced a lot. So yeah, enjoy your day. It'll be fun. Go with it. Go with this new embodied. Imagine him as your attorney. Imagine him. Listen, there's a couple of people in my life. Curtis is one of them, Curtis Broom, where our first conversation, he was in China. I was on a conference call. I can remember it to this day. And that's 20 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. We're in a conference room. We're talking about inventory. I'm recently been officially put into the position of vice president of North America and Europe for this network marketing company. He's over in China, and we're having an inventory call. And he says, you know, we need more noni juice over here. We need 3 containers of noni juice. I go, what about the 2 containers that are here that we have in inventory? He goes, what do you mean 2 containers? I said, yeah, you don't know who's tracking your inventory. How come you don't know you don't have 2 containers down here for your market? Who the hell is this? I go, this is the guy that knows there's 2 containers of noni juice that you didn't know about. That probably wasn't the best. Well, who is this? I said, this is your new VP of sales for North America. I don't know why I have to maintain or understand or let you in on information for China. But the key is that you've got 2 containers of noni juice sitting here that I'm getting my ass reamed out about this blended of costs. Why don't you have us ship that over there? And then the words started flying. I went, well, that's all fascinating. What do you want me to do with the 2 containers? Should I tell them to ship it, or do you want us to hold it here and let it go bad? You were not gonna, no. And from that moment
It was
on,
a long answer, I'm sure. It was very long what he gave you.
no, it wasn't, because he was so mad. Nobody had ever gotten him that mad, because Curtis kind of knows everything. And I was the only one that was able to cut him to the quick, saying, okay, you can give me a long story. Listen, I didn't ask you how to build a watch. I asked you what time it was, and the time is to ship 2 containers. Do you want them or not? I don't need a long answer.
Oh, I can imagine Curtis, because I know Curtis very well.
So yeah, it was fireworks for a while. He wanted me fired that day.
Oh, that was taking it all the way out.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
because he was the president, he was the global president, and I was this new punk ass kid who just got hired. That, like, where did you come from? The field. What do you know about being an executive? Well, I know how to run a cash box, and you got 2 crates of 2 shipping containers worth of inventory that's costing us money. Do you realize the cost of money is 12%? I mean, I had all of the logistics and smart, because there was no way you weren't going to beat me on this conversation, because I've run businesses. And there was just, you could watch everybody pulling away from, on this side, on the US side, pulling away from the speakerphone that was in the middle of the thing. They're like going, oh, they were all counting. They all had a bet. I found this out later. They all had a bet I wouldn't last a week. That was like on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I lasted longer than a week. I lasted 2 more years. So,
Hey, Sean, would you say that in business, and I mean particularly the higher up the chain you go,
yep.
would you say that it's real easy for just a regular business meeting, just like this one, to turn into a pissing contest real quick? The higher you go up the ladder with,
Not if you both want to piss, yes. Because somebody's going to get pissed on. So my answer is no. There's no reason for that. Because I asked the 3 questions. Do I have your permission to be of assistance? Do I have your permission to help? That takes the pissing contest away. I'm here to help. You're here to receive. You don't want it? Not my problem. But I'm not here to tell you what you're doing wrong, and you're not here to tell me what you're doing right that doesn't work. I'm here to help. So if you're not looking for help, anything else before I go, that takes the pissing contest away. Do I have your permission to make you feel a little uncomfortable? Now we're really getting into help, because you don't need me to tell you what you already know. You need to tell me things you don't know. And as an executive, you get really mad when somebody tells you something you're supposed to know, but don't. So do I have your permission to make you feel a little uncomfortable? Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm paying you for. Give me some solutions. Great. If I take you out of that uncomfortable feeling, would you be okay? Because some people like to be in misery. I can't work with somebody who wants to be in pain all the time. Is it okay if we step out of that uncomfortable feeling, which means we implement some new solutions that you've never done before, that are going to make you feel a way you've never felt before, and you're going to think a way you've never thought before. So it's going to get quite confusing real fast if we work together. Are you okay with that? Pissing contest over.
Yeah, the way that conversation started, there was like 2 Rams just going at each other.
Yep.
That was Freaky Friday, man. Thank you for today.
Yep,
That's
you bet.
great.
Love you
That's
tons.
huge.
Yeah, when somebody who knows they're right, you telling them they're not doesn't make them less right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Right? A man convinced against his will is of the same mindset still. And that conversation turned out to be, because I was right. And he had enough sense to know it was right. I just did the wrong thing of exposing his less of rightness in front of an audience. But it had nothing to do with him. But as the global president, he should have known. And what I exposed is his should haves instead of could haves. Yeah. Again, nobody knows the hell I've been through to be this nice. I love it. All right. We got to go. You got to go. I got to go. We got to go. We all got to go. I love you tons. I'm your head. Let's go, Misfit. I'll see y'all where?
Next event.
At the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Ricas.
Pura
Pura vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
peace.
Peace be with us.
Peace be with us. everyone and all of us, and the queen of helping you say the right things at the right time in the right space, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss lady, baby.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. And the little white fluffy.
Gurgly.
Gurgly, gurgly. All right, everybody. Love those you love, and those who don't know you love them, let them know you love them. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning talking about something. We'll have some fun. Love you tons.